Well, it's temporarily my show until I finish my statement. And then we have GIEPA under the capable hands of a very strong team. Good afternoon, Gambia. Good afternoon, members of staff of the ministry. Good afternoon, members of GIEPA and by extension, other sectors of the government that are involved in the management of Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency. Senior staff of GIEPA, you are all welcome to this very, very important session. P.S. Thank you for the introduction. I started by asking the senior citizens that have sandwiched me here to forgive me. Perhaps I should have been looking towards those who have not contributed yet to this country's development and asking them to spend sleepless nights to fix the problems we are here to address. But I was tempted to look towards you. As Damfa has highlighted, you have accumulated a lot of experience, and your track record, nationally and internationally speaks for you. Some of you might have heard me asking Mr. Obi if we have met before. We might have met, not in a very conscious way, because I was wondering if he would even know me. But when these things happen, when these things are taking place, you don't look for people that are close to you. You're looking for people that are capable, who have the competencies to accomplish the task at hand. So I first of all want to thank His Excellency the President. I should be able to say this. Is it GCRG or GCMG, one of them? He will punish me for not remembering that. But we thank him so seriously for considering the appointment of these three ex officio members or members of society to work with our technical team to support GIEPA and take it to the next level. We thank you also for accepting our invite. Talking about your time to rest, Papa is in his heydays. And the last time we met, despite our relationship and everything, was when the president was in Abidjan. We've not seen each other since then. That shows you his temperature is very high at the moment. And we wish him very well in all his endeavors. And this combination with the pedigree of the permanent secretary who spent 23 years around the corridors of the Ministry of Trade with CEO and his team, talking about representatives from finance and Ministry of Higher Education. We have the combination we were looking for. And again, thank you, Your Excellency, for giving us this very strong team to steer the affairs of GIEPA. We all know, we are aware that like many other institutions in government, GIEPA has been having challenges around funding recently. And this appointment, I'm convinced that with the quality we have assembled for you, CEO, we should be able to work together. Management and this new board should be able to work together to come up with a formula to address the challenges of funding the institution. That is top of the priorities, within my priorities for GIEPA. GIEPA, they have a vision for attracting investment, for improving on exports, enterprise development. All these things require financing. But it's common knowledge that government cannot provide all the funding required for this to happen. So I expect innovative, creative approaches from this team that will enable GIEPA survive, not only survive, but also come with inroads to enable the environment that makes themselves attractive for investments to choose the Gambia as destination. We have also started the process of reviewing the 2015 GIEPA Act with a view to aligning it with our new direction as a government, ensuring that the Act provides you the authority to do what you have to do to engage investors and engage them, having at the back of our minds the best interest of this country. When we go out of this country, and I know we are all very well networked, we see a lot of things happen in other countries that we are unable to do because we have restrictions within the Act. That process, I expect that management and the new board will also hit the ground running with that. And hopefully by next year, 2024, we should have His Excellency the President assent to a new GIEPA Act that addresses contemporary issues and makes GIEPA more effective and efficient. It's also my view that the GIETAF project has been dragging since 2017, and we have no excuse for letting this go on forever. I expect that the new board, with the dynamism, with the experience and all what have you, that I see present in the personalities around the table, we should be able to go out and iron out those differences, those bottlenecks that are making the first project His Excellency laid a foundation to when he was elected operational. I want to see GIETAF become operational. I want to see it become a reality. And I'm sure you are capable of getting that done. GIEPA's mandate is about promoting exports. It's about promoting entrepreneurship, enterprise development. It's about creating opportunities. This is important for this economy. And we know with the very young population we have, with our women currently dominating the enterprise landscape, we need some innovation, we need some creativity, we need some, new thoughts into the way things are happening. And again, I want to implore the new board to work with the management of GIEPA to ensure we lay the foundation requisite to enabling or ensuring that we are able to make inroads, very significant strides in these areas of entrepreneurship, export promotion, enterprise development, investment attraction, because those are the four pillars that underpin the mandate of GIEPA. Mr. Chairman and the team, we have forever, for the longest, lamented the challenge of a trade deficit. We have never been able to balance the imports coming into this country with our exports. It's a challenge, it's a Herculean task, but I know if you work with the management of GIEPA and we collectively, with determination, work towards improving our productive sectors in the economy, agriculture, for example, and that's where the expertise of Uncle Obi would come in, having spent all his life working in agriculture. Maybe somebody will be wondering why a trade industry ministry will be looking towards agriculture. That's what we need, that marriage. I've been talking about this. We need to marry our enterprising, pedigree with the productive aspect of our economy to be able to reduce that trade deficit. And it's important as a country that we're able to do something about that with a view to impacting our exports and directly, and I'm sure my sister from the Ministry of Finance would agree, we need to work on improving our exports in order to deal with this, perennial challenges of foreign exchange and other things. So the new board, I, on behalf of the government of the Gambia, ask you to work with GIEPA management to improve on our productivity. Mr. Chairman, I want to also say we have opportunities around us in preferential agreements. You have the AFCFTA coming. We have AGOA. We are happy and proud to be a country that has been invited to participate. We have the EBA, but we have other bilateral, trade agreements with countries near and far. These opportunities, to some extent, are not giving us maximum benefits. And I think we should be able to do something about this. We should be able to participate in FCFTA as participants and not as observers. And for that to happen, the previous point about productivity within the productive sectors of the economy, we have a chairman who knows this. In fact, I should be able to say here that he was one of those people who motivated me to read some pamphlets in economics. When I started the Teachers Credit Union, then you were with the project, what's the name?
Sparkle.
Sparkle. Yourself and your other brother Ture. Yeah. I must say that you inspired me, particularly when there was this workshop held in Palm Grove. I remember in a marquee. I probably would have been an economist, but really, I'm saying this to show that they know more than I know I do in this area. So we have a board that is capable of steering GIEPA to the next level, and I'm really, really confident that is going to happen. So let's make use of these opportunities. Peers and other members of the board, the media, everyone present here, with those few remarks, I was not meant to give you a TOR, because I know very well that those who are around this table know very well and better what ought to be done. This country's economy needs a new look. We have had so many false starts in terms of trying to revive the economy from the Ministry of Trade. This time round, we cannot fail. On that note, on behalf of His Excellency and on behalf of Cabinet and the entire country, I entrust GIEPA in your hands, and I congratulate you for this appointment. Thank you very much.
Our colleagues from the media also, good afternoon. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you to attend this inaugural ceremony. I will not say much about myself, but I think the minister, you are right. Ernest was not a mistake. I worked with him for many, many years. And I know him very well. And I am proud to say that, and I can still say that he's the best seed scientist in the Gambia. He has a distinction in seed science from a well-recognized UK university. So he's an agriculturalist. But not only an agriculturalist, as Damfa said, he worked with many in many sectors. When he was the guy who opened the DA development area in Bansang on behalf of Action Aid. And he was coordinating a multi-sectoral program, education, health, micro-enterprise, everything. Action Aid, their work is multi-dimensional. And yes, he headed the UNDP fight against social and economic inclusion project. That's why he worked with Fats Kinte and others. Unfortunately, they worked very closely with me. I was then head of SPACO, coordinating the whole entire program, all the projects within the poverty alleviation program in the country. So it's a good choice. With the exposure now with ECOWAS and all that, I think he will be able to really contribute effectively to the work of GIEPA. Pa Yusuf, as Lamin said, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. He's an entrepreneur par excellence. And I think that's one thing we need, at least particularly if you talk about innovation and all the innovative challenges that you put on the board. I think he will be very, very instrumental in those areas. So on behalf of my colleagues, board members, and my humble self, I hereby express our sincere gratitude for appointing us to such a high responsibility as board members of the Gambia Investment and Export Promotion Agency, and also for the confidence and trust reposed upon us. We are profoundly grateful for the call for national service once more to ensure to some of us, which we accept with high admiration. To you, Honorable Minister, and through you, to His Excellency the President, we convey our highest appreciation for such appointment and thank you for choosing us among many. This is a moment of personal honor for me and my colleagues, but also of deep personal responsibility, which we will not take up lightly. We heard all what the Minister said, all the trust, all the key issues. Some are low-hanging fruits, some are difficult nuts to crack, but we have to do it. It's a task that we have to really do. As we all know, that GIEPA is mandated by an act of parliament, which was, the last one was 2015. I was telling the CEO and staff that the 2010 one, we facilitated it. And then I was working with Dan Van Orders under the former Ministry of Planning. I was then the permanent secretary. So really it's not new, but I am happy that at least there was an updated version in 2015, which really still centers on promoting and facilitating investment, export, and providing support to enterprise development, thereby creating a conducive environment for businesses to steer the economic growth and prosperity of the country. As evident in a lot of, in an international survey, suggests that export and investment services have a positive impact on export growth, foreign investment, and employment creation in developing economies. So if you invest in investment, if you put resources on investment, you put investment in export, you are likely really to generate growth and also create employment. And therefore, employment means leading to reducing poverty and marginalization in societies. Evidence, there is a lot of evidence in the literature on that. As quoted from the GIEPA website also, GIEPA is the national agency responsible for promoting and facilitating private sector investment into the Gambia, and acts as investors' first point of contact. The agency aims to unite the Gambia's stakeholders and create the right climate to attract investment into the country. So it's very clear, again, on the GIEPA's mandate, and also GIEPA as the first port of call for investors. Although we know that there is a bit of fragmentation, but we have to work on that to ensure that at least our brand name is what calls people to us. It's not really use of force. You cannot legislate people, but if you show value, then people will come to you, certainly. And I think that's where we should work on, really improving the quality of service that we provide, so that anybody who comes or hear about us will not have a second choice. You'll just come to GIEPA. So there is no law that can really push separate people, particularly business people. But if they see interest and value in what you're doing, certainly come to you. And that's an area where we need to work in, particularly internally, to ensure that we improve on our on our demand base, you see, and not really concentrate on the supply. When the demand is there, definitely the people will come. Cognizance of the goal, objectives, and functions of GIEPA as the sole public institutions created to promote investment, export, and support enterprise development in the country. These triple functions have great role to play in enhancing economic growth, creation of decent jobs, and ultimately reducing poverty. The board and management will look into all the areas of strategic importance to ensure a flourishing investment flow, enhance export, and as well as formalize micro, small, and medium enterprises to generate quality jobs and services for the prosperity of the country and its citizens. It's not only about, our objectives should not only be about creation of jobs, but we should really be concerned about quality jobs, decent jobs that we can really lift people out of poverty.
Remember. And to borrow from Chairman, what you said, there is evidence of it. When we look at 2021-22, most of our investment is done by Gambians or businesses domiciled in the Gambia. And we have, for example, the Yamanat electricity. Today, they have factories coming up in Mandinaba, which is in the Sierra. All these agricultural projects we are talking of are also going to be around Sierra. Already, the economic zones we are talking about, the sites been identified already in LRR. It is what we need to do now is how do we get our businesses, particularly to quote what you said, the 46% from the URL.
Yeah.
I will quote Mohammed in a meeting. The QCell owner, he says it's easier to buy a property, build, rent, and collect your money than to run a factory. So that is maybe Papa, that's what together you can help us to change that mentality. Yeah, because there is enough liquidity in country, but it is about getting this. But with my team, we are very happy. And Honorable Minister, we have taken note verbatim your words, and this is part of the reason why I told the PS the entire management will have to come, witness the statements from the Minister and the incoming chairman, and also know that we have work to do, because Gambia cannot develop if GIEPA doesn't deliver. So on that note, I thank everybody. Thank you.